So those of you that are here, let me know if you can see me. It's saying that my screen is locked. Anybody is in here right now, let me know if you can see me, because yeah, I don't want to change this. Let me know if you guys can. I think it's okay. So I'm gonna light some sage and see if this becomes unlocked within the next like 1 minute. Those of you that just got in here, let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can see me. Because on my screen, it says it's locked because I have my... Okay, you can see me. Okay, then why does it even have that? Basically, right on my screen right now, it says it's locked because I have my... Okay, Ebony says she can see me. So, thank you guys for being here. This is going to be the Saturn and Pluto webinar, and there's been a lot of talk about Saturn and Pluto going retrograde, and I took some notes today. I'm going to talk about this for each of the signs. I will say this isn't going to be as long as the Jupiter webinar because I learned from the Jupiter webinar and realized that a lot of it was longer than it needed to be. But for this one in particular, we really just need to talk about the peak of this retrograde is going to be in June when it's Cancer season and the sun starts to oppose Saturn and Pluto. Mars is going to be in Cancer and oppose Saturn and going to have 6 planets in retrograde at once. So June and getting into July is where this is where it's going to reach a peak. So for these next 2 months, we're really building. And then after July, August, September, then October times when they start to go direct, Saturn and Pluto, we're going to feel in these different, I'm feeling it's going to be kind of in 3 different phases. I feel like these first 2-3 months are going to be in energy, and then when we get into Cancer season and Leo, it'll shift, and then the last 2 months of this, we'll have this sort of release. I really just want to make sure that everybody can see me because I can't see from my end, and that really sucks. But yeah, just, I guess I will know. At least I know audio is on. The microphone is on. But yeah, so going into just Pluto went retrograde first, and then Saturn is now going. September 17th is when Saturn is going to be direct at 13 degrees Capricorn. And then October 2nd, so right in the beginning of October, Pluto will be direct at 20 degrees. So one thing I want to say is that 20 degrees Capricorn is very, very important during this retrograde period because Saturn went retrograde at 20, Pluto will go direct at 20. So 20 degrees Capricorn is a very, very important point, and I'm going to read to you all the interpretation for that. Not right now, but I'm going to read it later. And all of you, wherever you have cardinal in your chart, whatever planet it is, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, or Aries, if it's from at least like, let's just at least say 14 degrees to 23 degrees, you're going to feel this. You're definitely going to feel this retrograde period more than others because this is where we're in this range of degrees of how it's affecting. I'm also going to pull an oracle card and a tarot card for each of the signs And let me see here. I also have down some questions and affirmations, but I'm gonna leave all of this. Once the stream is over, all of this that I typed up, I'm gonna leave it in the description box. It's not there now, but all of this information that I have typed up for this is gonna be left in the description box. So you guys can keep it. You can just keep it for yourself throughout the retrograde period. So I wanna open this with one oracle card. Actually, two. We'll do one for Pluto. We'll do three. One for Pluto, one for Saturn, one for the entire retrograde period right now. And then we'll get into this. So, three oracle messages. I want 3 oracle messages for this retrograde period. And just the beginning of it now. 3 energies just to tap in now. Okay. We have not for you, not for you, not for you. We have flexible. And we have imagine. So, honestly, thinking of Saturn and Pluto, where these are, let me read to you all some stuff I wrote down for today. So, I did write down growing pains, that this is going to be a retrograde of growing pains. Not that we haven't been going through growing pains, but in the way of where we're releasing a lot of the growing pains. I keep saying growing pains, but we're like, whereas we've been growing up until this point with Saturn being in Capricorn, now with this retrograde with Pluto and also Jupiter at the same time, it's sort of this releasing of the pain from the growth. I wrote, this is a time where we're needing to master our time and our energy. We're transforming our power and structure. We're learning to use our energy and time in ways that serve our highest good. So a lot of you are going to find that this retrograde period, how you are utilizing your time and energy transforms. Because that's really what Saturn is all about. Saturn does not discriminate, because Saturn has a time limit for everything. Like, it doesn't matter what you can do if you cannot do it within the certain range of time, because Saturn is about deadlines, and that's why it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, Saturn sees it like this: if Saturn gives you a year to accomplish something, Saturn's not going to necessarily judge you for how many times in that year you fell back, or you pushed ahead, or you succeeded or failed. Saturn is going to care about that by that year mark, you did what was intended. So Saturn doesn't necessarily discriminate, because Saturn is not an emotional energy. Saturn is not an emotional planet. Saturn is Capricorn. It's physical reality. It's real life. It's conscious awareness. And it's deadlines and time and energy. So what a lot of you are going to find is that whatever you have been pressuring yourself to do, however you've been putting boundaries on yourself since Saturn went into Capricorn, however you may feel you have been sloppy, or you have made certain mistakes, or you haven't been up to a certain standard, you will see that now it's like this is a breeze period, where it's almost like Saturn is giving us a little bit of time to do what we were saying we were going to do, and whatever was intended. Now we have this, it's almost like, what is the word I'm thinking of? Deferred. Like, if those of you that have ever been in school, like, you can get something deferred, like an application process, you can get it moved forward with time. It's a deferred process. This is how I'm kind of sensing Saturn, where this is a period of, Because one thing I want to say to everyone is that Saturn is this very fatherly energy where Saturn sees your potential even when you don't. And Saturn believes in you. Wherever you have Saturn or Capricorn in your chart, this is where you are to master and where you are to reach your highest potential. So Saturn sees your highest potential even when you don't. And Saturn believes. Saturn believes. So it's almost like this is a period where a lot of you could be feeling like now you need to believe more in yourself. Now you need to release certain judgment against yourself. Release the ways that you have been telling yourself you can't. And this is about getting back into the core and realizing that you can. Now, as far as these oracle cards that I just pulled, those of you that are just now getting into this chat, let me know if you can see me. Earlier, people said they can see me, but just in case there's any problems, I'd rather know right now. Because my screen is locked, so I can't see the chat or I can't see what anybody is really saying right now. But I can see myself, so I just want to make sure you guys can see me too. But not for you, flexible and imagine. Not for you, flexible and imagine. So this also makes me feel like a lot of you over this retrograde period are going to get this feeling of something that you were giving a lot of your energy and time to, that it's not for you anymore. Something that you have been maybe committed to, dedicated to, you felt like was an obligation. You may find that over the next 5 to 6 months, the rest of this year, you realize it's just not for you anymore. Some of you may also feel that this is a time where you're letting go of certain desires because you realize it's not that important. It's almost like a maturity process where we're all sort of realizing what we should invest ourselves into and what we should not, and what we really have time for and what we don't, and what is truly serving us and what is just filling a void or what is just wasting our energy. So then flexible and imagine. This makes me feel that majority of those of you that will be watching this, and at least I can say my tribe, and because I know there's a lot of people that are gonna, like, there is gonna be the energy, the repercussion energy of, you know, paying karmic debts. That always does come up with Saturn. Saturn does rule time and karma. So some of you may find that there is some harsh realities that come up during this retrograde period, where some stuff that you didn't necessarily want to, you know, you didn't want to face, you didn't want to confront, you didn't want to take control over, that's anything that you've been letting slip away. There is always that, it is to be cautious during a Saturn retrograde, because you will face certain harsh realities that maybe before you weren't able to face or you refused to face. But with flexible and imagine, this makes me feel like a lot of you are now in this retrograde period needing to kind of take a step back and not necessarily do more, but do things in different ways. This is all, and you know, one thing about what I like about Pluto and Saturn together in the same sign, and now that they're retrograde together, you know, Pluto is the psyche, and Pluto is the unconscious, your real, true unconscious nature. Pluto is the subconscious, deeper self. Pluto rules your psychological nature and programming, where Saturn is what you have become. Saturn is what you learn. Pluto is in you from when it's in you. It's your nature. In a lot of ways, you can look at Saturn and Pluto as nature and nurture. So this is going to be an important retrograde for that. This is an important retrograde for what you need to face that is just simply inside unconsciously as part of your nature, certain deep programming that you need to reprogram, versus what you've actually learned, what you have taken on, what you have chosen to do, you know, what you have maybe even signed up for. Whereas we're all sort of like, I'm seeing it as this yin and yang. I'm literally seeing in my head right now the yin and yang. And I'm also seeing an 8 ball. And I'm literally shaking it in my head and seeing yes, like in an 8 ball, which is interesting. But with Pluto being such a hidden energy and Saturn really being what is conscious and what can be understood and regulated, and it is what it is, it's facts. there's almost this energy of clearing deep inside, while at the same time clearing deep within is clearing space for more energy to flow through from outside. And it's almost like the more that we clear out this Pluto energy, the more abundance we can attract in with Saturn. And I also feel this energy of getting very, very grounded in our reality and in ourself. And it's very, very much so like psyche versus real life energies. So I also wrote, Pluto wants you to let go of everything that isn't real, raw, and true for you on a core level. Pluto wants to expose you to your true nature. So one thing that I want to touch on, because some of you may resonate with this, but a lot of times with Saturn energy and Pluto energy, people can find themselves fighting with who they really are. People can be trying to be something. That's Saturn, trying to try is Capricorn. 10th house, to achieve, right? To go towards something, the goat that climbs up. With Saturn being in Capricorn, where it rules, a lot of you have been trying to do something, reach something. You've been trying to be a better version of yourself. Whereas this Pluto in Capricorn is on an even deeper level, showing people who you really are and what you can use your energy for. So there's a lot of people right now facing these breakdowns of, wow, this isn't really me. Like, I'm chasing something not true to my nature. I'm going against what I know I'm capable of. There's a lot of people now realizing, and again, we got this card, not for you, right? There's a lot of people you'll see over the next 5 months where going through big changes, especially all my cardinal signs, my cardinal rising people and sun signs, and even Mars. If you have a Mars sign in a cardinal, there's going to be a lot of changes about what you give yourself to, what you're asserting yourself into, what you're really trying to do. Because there's so much changing on a subconscious level, and that is also shifting our world and our reality. Another thing I want to say is that Saturn is very dry energy. So I literally wrote down for the next 5 months, it's important to drink more water and take more vitamin C. Literally, that may sound cliche, but Saturn rules bones. So this is a time where you may feel like your bones are weaker. Some of you may feel like you're getting stronger in your bones, stronger in yourself. Another thing I wrote is that for this retrograde period, for the next 5 or 6 months, it's almost like we're taking the rest of the year to redesign our reality and our psychological unconscious programs. Now again, all of this stuff I'm saying, you guys, I'm going to copy and paste it and put it in the description box so you can kind of read through my notes, because I know that a lot, like, people don't necessarily want to watch through the whole stream, even though, I mean, obviously that's okay too. But yeah, we're taking the rest of the year to redesign. And the reason I'm saying redesign is because Capricorn likes to design things. Capricorn likes to see what's possible and then do the impossible. That's why the 12th house of Capricorn is Sagittarius, where Jupiter is right now. So collectively, people right now are having to believe in their magic and then go farther. They're reaching new heights. But how we're really doing this is that we're transcending from within with Pluto. We're removing certain blockages deep inside. We're getting rid of this deep programming, of this fear, of this, this control energy, and through the Jupiter, we transcend that so that we can reach these newer heights that are more lively, that are more aligned with our nature and our highest good, where we're not trying to, reach something that isn't necessarily in alignment. Because I feel like a lot of people have been doing that. Everybody has been a little bit more ambitious, and everybody has been feeling like everything's a little bit harder ever since Saturn went into Capricorn. So you have seen a lot of people achieving and reaching and going towards things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it was benefiting them, if that makes sense. These notes, put these back. So I'm also going to talk about, ooh, these almost all fell. I'm going to talk about for each of the houses for all of the signs. Let me see, I've been in here for 20 minutes so far. When I start Aries, I will look at the time so that you guys will know when I start the cards in this video for those of you that are going to watch in the playback. I'm really worried that you guys are not going to see me in the screen, but I mean, I could move it. Let's see, give me 1 second, you guys. Now I'm gonna do this. Okay, someone said I was sideways. Okay. Well, because I was sideways, it wouldn't let me see anything. But now I can actually see. Like my screen was locked because of that. But I felt like it was supposed to be sideways. So, you know, you never can win. Now I can actually see the chat. Anybody that has said anything. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Open these up. So another thing that I'll propose the question is that where have you been giving your power away? Where have you been selling yourself short? You know, where have you been thinking that you can't do something? Where have you been holding yourself back because you felt incapable? In what ways have you been pressuring yourself? Because this is Saturn energy, you know, like this retrograde period in a nutshell, it's like a lot of people are going to get the energy back that they've lost because they're not going to feed it into stuff anymore that doesn't matter. Like a lot of people are going to be so replenished by the end of this because they're going to realize where they have been draining themselves and where they've been pushing and trying that's not in alignment. So this is going to crack through whatever is physically out of alignment with your highest good and your highest soul path. And then Pluto, it's like this is where we're releasing the blockages deep inside that have been programmed in us that are not even necessarily true to our real nature. And the thing is that we free up a lot of space. Like when you stop fearing or doubting, or when you really, really remove certain blockages deep inside, it frees up so much space. It frees up so much ability to manifest. And this is really what is happening because collectively we have gained a lot of density with Saturn and Pluto, especially how they've been so close in their conjunction. We need them to go back a little bit and separate a little bit because there has been so much stacked density in people's lives and collectively that it's like we need a time to shake off the density now and to almost give it back to the earth, give it back to who it needs to go back to so that we can free up this space because it's the Jupiter and Sagittarius that we're really going to use. Jupiter will go direct first. Out of all of these planets that are going to go retrograde, there's going to be 6 in total by July. Jupiter will be what goes direct first. And that at that time is when we're going to take that Jupiter energy and transcend. But it's all going to come from the grinding and releasing of the blockages with the Saturn and Pluto retrograde. So there is this feeling of, I don't know why, but I'm seeing in my head like a chest, like my mom used to call it like a hope chest. But just like a regular chest that people use in their homes and they put stuff in it and, you know, it locks down with a latch. I'm seeing like a chest in my head and I'm seeing someone just having a lot of stuff in it and clearing it out, like cleaning out a chest. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of stuff in there, like notebooks and pictures and like movies and a lot of stuff. And I'm seeing by like the end of this retrograde, it's super, super clean. And I'm seeing someone close the top of the chest and it's closed now. And it's almost like it's opening faster too because there's not stuff stuck and piled inside of it. So I'm feeling that type of energy. And then I'm seeing as like once Jupiter goes direct, it becomes like this jack in the box and it like opens on itself. It opens on demand. So take that for, you know, that's just a visual coming through right now. But I'm going to read for, okay, 20 degrees Capricorn, I'm going to read right now. Because this is where Saturn went retrograde and this is where Pluto will go direct. So this 20 degrees mark is important. And it's titled Many Different Perfumes Carried by a Breeze. And I am going to put this in the description box for those of you that want to just skip through. So many different perfumes carried by a breeze. And just you can just listen to this message, take it for what you will. It may not resonate, but I definitely use this Elias Lanzo as a resource of mine, as a source, if anything. So it says, we bear within us many past lives, each one complete, autonomous, sorry, that word came up on me, autonomous and emitting its own subtle, special fragrance. There are points along the journey when we must stand together with the whole lineup of our previous selves and follow out the journey they were all leading to. This is a formidable task. There is a lot to live up to. It grants you authority and conviction, and it makes it very hard to get started. In order to get anywhere, you must at times deny the awareness that everybody is there and do whatever you can do, apparently on your own. But truly the depth of experience, the substantive inward development, and the power of your inner drive give it away. You are destiny charged in a larger than life fashion. Being self-possessed is your watchword. There is so much to accomplish, and at the center of the journey lies self-knowledge and the overriding determination to clear the karmic slate, to free up what has been trapped and bound, and to come to yourself afresh. This destiny will is guided, cosmically supported, centrally relevant to your whole world, and you will do it. Turn the darkest of hours into the brightest breakthroughs by refusing to stop anywhere or to go back down from your resolve to wake up this time and get on with the greater path at long last. So, really powerful interpretation. I really sense that though. I really feel that. I really feel like a lot of people don't even realize that over these next 5-6 months, you are really charging forward. And I'm seeing the Chariot card in my head, charging forward onto a greater path, finally, once and for all. Really, truly getting on with this bigger purpose. You know, I think it's funny that I'm doing this webinar right now and then tomorrow I'm doing the new moon in Taurus, because I feel like the new moon in Taurus is also this same energy of this overthrowing type of energy, this earth energy. You know, earth energy, people really sleep on how powerful earth energy is because it has so much will inside. And this is going to be a retrograde period where we find deeper will in ourselves and we really break down things that need to go. Now, another thing that I want to touch on is this whole, you know, the idea of the karma and like spiritual attack and this, and like, you know, Saturn can be a haunted sort of energy. Like Saturn can feel haunted. Like imagine it in the way of when a person knows that they have a bill due and they have no money. That is a Saturn haunted feeling. That is that restrictive, you know, fearful, the things in life, in our physical world we fear. You know, when you're driving and the police are behind you and you see the lights in your rearview window, that is the Saturn haunted feeling, because that is a real consequence. That is a real thing. If you got a letter that you're going to be evicted by this day if you don't have the money, and you wake up that day and you don't have the money, that is the Saturn haunted feeling. And that is all in material, right? That is all material things, but we manifest material problems and material conflict because there's some sort of conflict going on inside. The outside is always a reflection of the inside. So that haunted Saturn feeling, that roots in lack. You know, the lowest vibration of Saturn is like the 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles energy, where you need something from someone else, or, you know, you are leeching and crutching and afraid to do something for your own self, afraid to go and handle something yourself. That crutch type of feeling where you feel like you can't handle something or you won't have enough. This is that energy that can become very, very heavy. You know, Saturn is a hard, rock hard, solid, huge planet. And the wisdom of Saturn is so, I'm hearing the word exquisite because of its rings and how things come around time and time again. It's very, like, Saturn rules patterns as well and cycles. So it could become this cyclical pattern. You know, when a person every single month is struggling every single month, that's Saturn. That is Saturn energy. And now, of course, it could be other things, but that is the low vibration of Saturn, is when you feel unsafe. You know, it's very root chakra. It's when you feel like you don't have enough. It's when you feel that somehow you're going to get screwed over, or you feel like you're going to get thrown in jail or thrown evicted out of the house. That's the lowest vibration of that Saturn manifest. So this is definitely a retrograde period. If any of you have been finding yourself in these vibrations of fear and these vibrations of you need more, or you need this, or you know, kind of like only seeing the outside world, only seeing your material manifestations, this is going to be a challenging time for you, because this, when a planet goes retrograde, it internalizes. So whatever was going on outside, if for the past few months you have been angry and feeling behind and like you're failing, now where you have been finding people to blame and you've been finding reasons to blame why you feel this way, now that Saturn and Pluto are retrograde, this is an internalized feeling now, where you realize, wow, it's me. You know, or like, wow, like, I can't blame things anymore. Like, it's like it becomes internal. And those of you that have planets in retrograde, you know how that is. Like a retrograde, it's when a planet is retrograde, it's because it's closer to the earth. So this is why it becomes more intimate. It becomes a personal thing. It's an intimate feeling. So Saturn and Pluto retrograde is like, the police are not your enemy anymore. You are, you know, not having enough money. It's not an external issue. It's something going on within. And this is where we have to face the own inner authority and the inner ability to manifest, and our inner boss, you know, the inner father as well. Saturn is super masculine, super masculine energy, where it's like the authority that you have within yourself, which is ultimately your self-respect and your integrity. All of this now starts to be processed. All of this is like, now people are pulling up their programming, their subconscious programming, and pulling it all out and putting it in different files and realizing certain things. This is like where people can no longer blame anything outside of themselves, especially with Pluto too, because Pluto has everything to do with the unconscious nature, what's deep inside, that is an absolute manifestation of your soul, what your soul is putting out into the world and also pulling in from the world. So this is going to be a time where if anyone has been feeling powerless, this is the retrograde where you're gonna have to find power within yourself, and you're not going to be able to necessarily blame the world, because it's ultimately going to be something that is going on within you. Now let me go here. So July is really going to be a very peak time, but in June is when we're going to have Mars and the Sun opposing Saturn and Pluto in Cancer. So a lot of you, you know, wherever Capricorn is in your houses is very important, but the peak time of this retrograde is going to be when we have the Cancer energies opposing it. So look to your Cancer house too, because that is where those two houses is where you're learning lessons right now, where you're releasing certain controls, you're releasing blame, your forgiveness. Those two houses are where you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot happening in those areas over the next few months. And also in other houses too, because other planets are going retrograde, but because Saturn and Pluto are both in Capricorn, and the Sun and Mars will be making direct oppositions to that, your Cancer and Capricorn houses are very important. So I wrote down some affirmations that I want to read to you all. Again, I'll put this in the description. But I wrote, I am responsible. I transform my reality. I have integrity. I respect my growth. I have a healthy relationship with time. I am dedicated to my greatest self. I manifest for my highest good. I trust myself. I accept what is not in my control. And control is also a huge thing coming up right now. Control is a huge thing. And I think it's because it's like with Capricorn energy, just the soul alone, it's vulnerable. It's like people feel better when they're dressed up the way they want to be, right? Like you don't just, even though this is not necessarily, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but there's a reason why humans don't go out completely naked. And there's a reason why we go in our houses and we lock the door. And there are reasons why we have created certain structures and foundations, because it protects the vulnerability, which is the naked soul. And Cancer, the fourth house, is the naked soul, where Capricorn is it dressed up. Capricorn has the naked soul, and Capricorn protects it with clothes, with money, with status, with cars, with jobs, with the house, and with a watch. And but that is a theme coming up this year, especially with the North Node in Cancer, where it's like we're all needing to channel our naked soul and our pure heart, our pure, just who we are, our souls. But the South Node is that people are clinging to what makes them feel powerful, what makes them feel in control, what makes them feel more expensive, what makes them feel more worthy. Everybody's sort of clinging to certain status crutches. I think it's funny that I know Cardi B just won a Billboard, right? And one thing, what did she say? She was like, at the end of her speech, she was like, do anything for clout, which was just her, being funny or whatever. But like even the clout thing, right? Like clout is very South Node Capricorn. You can tell that she is in South Node energy. The money, she literally has a song called Money, but like money and the status and clout energy and feeling like you need this, or all of that is a direct reflection that there is this inadequate feeling, maybe even on a soul level. So, when we go in Cancer season and the sun conjuncts the North Node, and we're going to have this energy opposing these retrograde planets, it's almost this like relief, this feeling of like, what really matters, what makes you strong, what makes you who you are. And it can't be something in the material world. I don't remember where I remember this from, but the concept I'm about to bring up is that a lot of people, when you ask them who they are, what is one of the first things people tell you? What they do, right? That's 10th house. That's midheaven. That's why I personally believe the midheaven is the second ascendant. It's the second ascendant, because when you ask people who are you, like that, one of the first things that so many people will say, they'll tell you their job, they'll tell you what they do. That's Capricorn energy. But nobody automatically tells you about their fourth house energy. Nobody automatically says, oh, I am so and so and so, this was my life, this is my soul. We don't do that. So this Cancer North Node is like getting people to become more transparent about who they are, and realizing that we are not what we do. Like, we are not what we do. And that is the biggest lesson right now with these planets going retrograde, Pluto and Saturn, is that if you are attaching your soul and your identity and your purpose to what you're doing physically, you're missing the point, because you are not what you do. You can do great things, and a lot of what you do is a reflection of who you are, but it's not who you are. And who you really are is something deep inside of you, like a seed. It's unconscious and it's raw, and it has nothing to do with this physical world. And it would be who you are even if you got placed on another fucking dimension or another fucking planet. You would still be that person. And this is also energy coming up now too. Like, who are you when you strip away all of your illusions of power and the illusions of status and the illusions of, you know, imagine if there was no such thing as material gain, then what would we all strive for, right? And I feel like this is a period for and think about it, these retrogrades are going to be 5-6 months. This is for the rest of this year almost. Like, Saturn and Pluto aren't going to be retrograde until like Libra season, Virgo Libra season, fall time. So we're taking the whole summer and the beginning of fall to really truly evaluate, what is my real power, you know? How do I structure my soul for my highest good? Like, how can I utilize my energy to best serve me? And not just to ascend in my physical world, but to ascend on a spiritual, unconscious, subconscious level. This is about internal growth, and this is about strengthening the psyche and strengthening ourselves deep within our bones. This is about deep security, security that can't be bought, that has no price. Dang, I just read something yesterday, and it was about spiritual poverty. I'm gonna bring up Cardi B again, and J. Cole I'm gonna bring up as well. I read something yesterday where they were saying how both of those people have said that they missed being broke, and basically what the person that I was reading, they were talking about, they were saying that some people, their soul vibrates at a poverty level. So you could give them a lot of money and they would still want to be broke, right? And that's because they're vibrating, their spirit is in that vibration. Their spirit is broke. Their spirit feels that way. So it's like, you could hand someone $1 million, but if they don't feel like they're $1 million inside, that money, one, is either gonna get blown and they're gonna not have any idea what to do with it, or they're gonna feel weird and guilty and feel like they don't even wish they had it. They'll feel like it's a burden. And that's because on a soul level, that person is not vibrating at that wealth. They don't have that wealthy vibration. So a lot of you may also find, because when I was shuffling cards earlier, the Ace of Pentacles kept coming out. Like Ace of Pentacles, it came out like 4 times while I was shuffling cards. And it also made me feel like a lot of you may find that this retrograde period, you're getting a lot of advancements or money, but that is making you realize how you feel about money. And that's going to make people realize different feelings about money. So I feel like our relationship with money collectively is also changing over the next few months. People realizing that you don't necessarily need to take something just because it's a pay raise. That doesn't mean it's better for you. Like, you don't necessarily need to go to a job because it pays more, right? That doesn't mean the job is better for you. You know, you don't necessarily take a pay increase if that is gonna do something else. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about money. Like, it's not all about money. There's so many more elements to wealth and to prosperity. There's so many different dimensions and elements to it, to where cost value, especially now that Uranus is in Taurus, money and currency is changing forever. Everything about value and money and currency is changing forever. We will probably have a whole different system of money and managing money over the next 7 years. By the time Uranus goes into Gemini, I guarantee you all, money will be so digital. We won't even have as much as a physical concept of money anymore. Over the next 7 years, we're gonna be getting rid of the whole physical concept of money. People aren't gonna be flashing money like that anymore. People aren't gonna be flashing chains. People aren't going to be doing that over the next 7 years, because it's all becoming so digital and it's becoming such a stream of consciousness. People are realizing that money is a consciousness. Money is an entity. And as much as it is also physical, there's such a deeper vibration that goes along with it. And that's something also that's going to be coming up over the next few months. So, let me see. I also have some of these questions that I'm just going to read off, and if they trigger you, or if you want to write some of these down, or if you want to answer them later in a journal or something like that. These are just questions that came to my mind earlier today when I was meditating and stuff. So I wrote, where have you not been wise? Where have you been hungry for power or material gain and not what serves your soul? Have you sold your soul? Have you bought someone else's dream? What dream did you buy? Is it still yours? Are you prepared to work for the life that you want to live? If you had what you wanted, would you be able to keep it? Are you afraid of your own power? What patterns have run their course? What behaviors are keeping you in a low vibration? Where, how, who have you given your power to? Where are you working hard and not smart? The structures in your life, were they created by you and for you? What is lying dormant at the core of your being? What part of your nature have you been suppressing? What power is within you that you have not tapped into? How can you grow your power now? What has been depleting your energy? So those were just a few questions that I wanted to write down and ask and present to you all as just like meditation topics. But yeah, I think that I may have to turn my camera again later, you guys, just so you know. If the video ends up being sideways again, it's because I may need to plug this in, and the only way I can plug it in is if I turn it sideways. So if I get the notification it's on low battery, I will have to change it again and do sideways. So I apologize for that. Now next time I know that this will happen, because this is my first time I'm doing a webinar on my phone, because the quality of the camera is so much better than the MacBook. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. If I have to change screens, I'm sorry, it'll be sideways. But now I really want to get into the cards actually first before I talk about the houses, because I want to bring in some tarot messages and then get into the astro element. So I'm going to pull cards, and this will be for sun, moon, and rising, and then I'll get into like the houses where it'll be based more to the ascendant and where this is going to be transiting astrologically. So I'm going to start with one oracle, one of these, and then one tarot just for overall all of the signs, whatever messages want to come through. And then for all 12 zodiac signs, I'm going to pull one of these and one tarot card, so 2 in total. So I'm starting this now at 47:24 into the video is where we'll start for the for everyone. So this is going to be for Saturn and Pluto, and a message right now for all 12 signs that we all can take right now. A message for everyone for this retrograde period. This one I feel right here. Okay, we have dedicated effort. Dedicated effort, which is the 8 of Pentacles. Dedicated effort. 8 of Pentacles, very, very Capricorn energy. And then bottom of this, we have Ace of Wands, which is new vitality. So 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. So automatically, before I even pull a tarot to confirm that, this makes me feel like the next 5-6 months will be work. A lot of you will be working. You will be launching projects. There's so much work to do. Like, do not think that this is going to be a period where you can just kind of like lay back and you know, it's always good advice to trust, right? Like whenever someone is in a very, like, one thing that I personally believe, like if someone comes to me, if I'm out somewhere and someone is very anxious and comes to me, the first thing I'm going to tell them is that they should relax. The first thing I'm going to tell them is that it's okay. Like it's going to be okay. Because fear and anxiety and pressure doesn't do anything but attract more trauma and chaos. So it's always good advice to tell someone it's going to be okay, because it is going to be okay. But this is not necessarily a retrograde where you can just count on that. Like you can't just ignore work and ignore obligations and ignore the efforts that you know you need to dedicate yourself to. Basically, if you want to get yourself somewhere, if you want to be in a better position 6 months from now, then you are going to need to take this period of the planet slowing down and internalizing and change the way you're dedicating your energy and efforts. Like that is going to be automatic. A lot of people are going to change the way that they're working over the next few months, but nonetheless, people will be working, saving money. People are going to be pushing themselves and in different ways, because we're going to be freeing up so much internal space that we actually can get things done more efficiently and effectively. So let me pull another tarot. Oh, really good. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune and Eight of Pentacles. Wow, a complete shift in our work life, a complete shift in our diligence, a complete shift in work. So dedicated effort with Wheel of Fortune. So this makes me feel, those of you that have been really dedicated, really, really putting in your energy, really devoted and really showing up, there is going to be a beautiful shift that happens for you in this retrograde. You are going to have a beautiful shift. Your weight is going to be released, or your load will lighten, but money will still be coming in. This makes me feel that ultimately, though, there is a shift now in the way people are working on things and the way people are investing their time and energy. Eight of Pentacles is about focusing and staying on the task and being diligent and, you know, really working hard and putting in the time and really, really being consistent too. It's about consistency. So a lot of you are going to find that now also for the next 5-6 months, there's more about this shift in consistency. You're starting to be more consistent on different projects. You're starting to be more consistent with your work. Certain things are lining up now. It's almost like there's this positive shift in how we are focusing and dedicating ourselves and investing our energy. So this is actually really positive. Like, I feel like these are very, very positive to pull. Like, the Eight of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune to me is very accurate and very positive. And this makes me feel like there's no surprises. Like, this makes me feel like this is going to be a retrograde where it is obvious. Like, we have to invest energetically differently. Like, we have to work on the things we want to manifest. Nothing is going to, this also makes me feel nothing will fall in our laps. We will work for the shifts. We will be working for these shifts. The release that we want to feel, we will have to work for it. The new beginning, the destiny, epiphany, all of these things, these shifts, we will have to be working for them consistently and being dedicated and focused. That's the way that we will manifest these new beginnings, through dedicated effort. So apply yourself. Everybody, getting away from all of the signs to all signs. Apply yourself so that you can manifest the shifts that you really want. So let's get into Aries, and it's 52:29 is when I'm starting Aries. Those of you, anybody wants to put timestamps. So Aries. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. So for you, Aries, this retrograde is happening in your 10th house. Actually, I'll do it like this. Aries, this is happening in your 10th house. So much of, should I do it like this? Should I do it after? Let me let this one come out first. We have Blossom. Blossom. King of Pentacles and Blossom. So Aries, Aries Sun, Aries Rising. This makes me feel like for you all, there is a huge accumulation of wealth that you are going to be manifesting through this retrograde period. This makes me feel like you are blossoming into wealth, prosperous energy. This makes me feel like you're coming alive in the material realm. This makes me feel like some of you are either going to get a really good opportunity where you're going to be able to invest long term. Some of you are going to find that this is a period where you start to focus on your, I'm talking like long-term wealth, your long-term future and abundance. There's almost this coming to life, this blooming energy happening in that realm. So this makes me feel like with this happening in your 10th house, you're gonna find that this retrograde period actually brings you closer to the deep abundance you want, to the wealth that you want, that you start to become more serious about your growth. You start to become more serious about your blossoming and transforming. It's like, I feel like Aries, you're really wanting to be big baller. Like you're really, you're really wanting to manifest like real wealth. And the only way that you're going to really tap into this energy over these next 5-6 months is you allow yourself to blossom into new things. This makes me feel like the more that you allow yourself to be happy and feel like you got it, even if you don't, the more that you feel like you got it, Aries, the more you will attract it to you. And this also makes me feel like the more that you are emitting light and joy and just being present in your real lively soul, the more that stuff is gonna attract you like a magnet. Like prosperity is gonna just attract you. Abundance is gonna attract you. The more that you're standing really in your warmth and your light and your joy, and you're kind of just like alive in your soul. So this makes me feel, don't be too caught, Aries, in the energy of the financial world and money, 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 and saving. It's basically like, if you have a lot, spend it. This is a time where you guys are going to be in a position to where enjoy it. Like, what good is it that you're building and you're building if you're not feeling alive, if you're not feeling light. So yeah, that's what I have for Aries. And I feel like this is just going to be for you all about being happy where you are, because you're content and you have trust that you're going to be where you're meant to be. That even if you are not King of Pentacles right now, you're happy with how you're blooming and how you're getting there, and that you don't feel cold and dark or not vibing bright and not in light because you don't have a secured bag. This is about being joyful and alive and positive and hopeful, no matter where you are, because you know this is the end goal anyways. It's almost like the ends, not the ends is the means. I don't know why that came to my head, but it's like each path is at the same destination, but each path you must spread light. Like, that is the key for you all for the next few months. Make sure that you are still in a light vibration, you're spreading light, and know that you will end up in that space as long as you keep your joy alive and your spirit alive. So we're gonna get into Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. And this, for my Taurus rising, this is gonna be in your 9th house. Let's see. Ten of Cups, Taurus. Beautiful. 10 of Cups. And this is for Sun, Moon, and Rising. And we have Seek the Truth, which is 7 of Cups. Seek the Truth. And 10 of Cups and 7 of Cups. 10 of Cups and Seek the Truth. This is interesting for you, Taurus. This is interesting, because I feel like for you all, I'm going to pull one more to confirm, because you pulled a 10. Two of Cups and 5 of Wands to confirm this. Taurus, make sure that you're not in any illusions in your relationships. That's just one thing I want to put out there. I know that by the Scorpio full moon in 2 weeks, Venus is going to be conjunct Uranus in your sign. So this makes me feel, Taurus, there could be some veils you haven't lifted up yet in your love life. There could be some illusions. I feel like, though, ultimately, Taurus, you guys are in a very dreamy space right now. You guys are completely dreaming of the future. You are dreaming of love. You are absolutely in this space of all is possible. Love is the answer. For many of you, if you're not already partnered, you are looking for a partner. You are seeking partnership. You are wanting to be out. You want that. You want this affection. Taurus, this makes me feel like, for you all, this is going to be a retrograde period where the most important thing for you is that you're going to have so much opportunity for happiness. You're going to have so much opportunity for bliss and joy, that the most important thing for you, especially with this going through your 9th house, is that you make sure what it is that you want reflects your truth. So this is kind of like, this is basically saying don't bend, and Taurus don't necessarily do this, but sometimes Taurus do. Um, you know, sometimes it's kind of like, the way that I'm gonna put this and how I'm seeing this is in my head is I'm seeing like a young star, like a young person who just became like famous, and I'm seeing them like on tour, and I'm seeing them like in the limelight. I'm seeing someone who things are amazing, you know, things are great, but it's like in that limelight there are certain things that are slipping through the cracks. And this makes me feel, Taurus, that make sure that you are not so in love and so in the sauce and in the bliss and in the rainbows and the possibilities that you're not seeing truth right in front of you. This is kind of saying, this is basically, I feel like, Taurus, the message I have for you all is that don't let anyone talk sweet nothings to you. Make sure that you're not in a position to where, because you're so like things are going well and your love life is looking up, and there's bliss around you and there's magic around you, make sure that you're not seeing something clearly because you're so immersed in your emotions. This makes me feel, Taurus, that no matter how amazing it feels to feel for you all for these next few months, think about it, it's Earth. So this is still a positive transit to you. It's trining you in a positive way. A lot of you are going to be very in love, or you're at least going to be surrounded by magical opportunities and bliss and experience. So through that, just make sure that you are really seeing the truth, Taurus. Make sure that you are not, you know, getting confused and getting manipulated because you're so happy. I know that's kind of a weird message, but this makes me feel it's going to be a good retrograde for you all. But it's almost this warning that don't throw yourself so much into the beautiful possibilities that you lose sight of what is really true for you and what you're really set on and what you're really focused on. Like, don't let love knock you off your path, basically, Taurus. And don't let like the bliss that you will experience over these next few months make you forget about what you truly are, what you truly believe in, and what you truly stand for. Because then you're going to find yourself in a very confused space, and you're going to feel like you don't know what was real. You don't know what was real anymore. It could become invalidated because you weren't allowing yourself to really see certain things and signs and truths that were right in front of you. So that's what I'm going to say for Taurus. But ultimately, I mean, you guys pulled 10 of Cups and 2 of Cups. This makes me feel like for some of you, this is life. But just make sure that it's not to the point to where you're throwing yourself so much into love and sensual things that you're starting to. That's for my Tauruses. And who's next? Gemini. So Gemini, Gemini. This is happening in you guys' 8th house. Let me see, Gemini. Okay, we have Knight of Pentacles. Wow. I don't know, Gemini. That's a lot. That seems like a lot. Okay, a whole bunch of cards flew out. I don't know why, but I feel like Mars and Gemini opposing Jupiter, there could be a lot of energy that you guys have right now. Let's see. Gemini. We have Shine. Knight of Pentacles and Shine. So Gemini, I feel like for you all, this is about being happy where you are. because Knight of Pentacles is about slow and steady. You know, it's about staying on track. It's about following the course. You know, it's about being consistent and doing what you're doing. It's staying on the same path. It's about being focused on the path ahead of you. But that coming out with shine makes me feel like you guys are going to find that this is a retrograde period where for you it's about feeling confident where you are in each phase and each step of this. It's gonna be, the challenge for you all is gonna be, can you emit light and can you be happy where you are? Even though you know there is a ways to go, even though you know it's not where you want to be, can you remain grateful for the present moment? Can you remain, you know, centered and light and happy with where you are? This is about seeing the small gifts and seeing the small blessings. And I feel like this is about finding joy each day through each step of the way. This to me is like Geminis. For you all, this is going to be a retrograde period where you're finding beauty in the small things, and you are staying on a path consistently, and you're becoming happier through that, like through your dedication and through your commitment to this path. It's like you're becoming lighter, you're becoming happier, and it's like you're finding more reasons to be grateful. I feel like for you all, this is going to be a retrograde where the more that you count your blessings and the more that you say what you're grateful for each and every step on this path, you're going to find that by the time you do get to the end of it and you get to that destination and that place, you are going to feel so filled with light. You're going to feel like you're shining completely. So this is, I feel like, stay grateful, stay humble, stay on the path and be grateful for each moment that you're in it, because it's leading you to a place of absolute light and bliss. And it's really just about being present each step of the way, and finding happiness in the smallest of things on your journey. So this is like you guys are on a pursuit of happiness. You're on a journey towards happiness, but it's more about being conscious of the small wins and being conscious of, you know, the small joy that's leading you to even greater joy down the line. So let's see. So Cancer, I'm starting, it's at an hour, in 7 minutes, 44 seconds. Ooh, that card just flew out. 2 just flew out, and we have 7 of Cups and 4 of Cups. Interesting. 7 of Cups and 4 of Cups just flew out and landed on the floor. 7 of Cups and 4 of Cups. Cancer, do not indulge. It may not be too good to do a lot of drugs. Like, you may find that the more that you do drugs, the more that you are getting lost in illusions you're not aware of. And I'm not saying don't do drugs, because you can do whatever you want, but my first initial feeling to that, for how they just flew out with 7 of Cups and 4 of Cups, are cards of addiction. And these are cards of escapism and losing yourself and wanting to feel more and wanting to tap into different portals and wanting to get lost in different dimensions. And then when you come back out, when you're out of it, like when you're out of the high and when you're out of the portal, then just feeling sad or feeling, you know, bored and feeling like it's an emptiness. So this makes me feel, Cancer, that one of your biggest challenges for this retrograde is to stop filling the voids, to stop doing things that are just pulling you away from yourself and putting you in different spaces that are not really, you're not really connecting. I feel the need to say that, like, I would really suggest for Cancers to not drink a lot in this retrograde, to not try to, as little as possible, lose yourself and go off into different places, because it makes me feel like when you come back to your reality, you're feeling like something's missing, or you're feeling bored, or you're feeling like there's an emptiness in you. I'm gonna pull one of these. Now that's just like, that's just for whoever that's for. I'm gonna pull one more. But those flew out, so I feel like I need to honor them and read them. So we have giving and receiving, 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving. And I'm gonna pull one more tarot. So giving and receiving. and Temperance. So Cancer, I feel like for you all, you know, this is your 7th house. Also be careful that you are not, for my Cancers that have this going through your 7th house, this retrograde, make sure that you are not, you know, this makes me feel like some of you could be home like waiting for someone and they're out getting really drunk or high, or like someone is in their own world here and then you are here like wondering, or it could be vice versa. You're the one out like exploring all this stuff and there's someone here that's kind of just like, I don't understand. So there, just be wary of that energy. But 6 of Pentacles and Temperance, giving and receiving a Temperance, this makes me feel, Cancer, for you all, the biggest lesson is that to really find inner peace and to be content from the inside outside. This makes me feel like the biggest lesson for you all is that there, you will find that over this retrograde, nothing fills the void. Like the peace that you're seeking has to come from yourself, sober, by yourself. Like it has to come from within. And this makes me feel like some of you are going to find that over the next 6 to 5 months, 5 to 6 months, I'm dyslexic. You guys feel like you have obtained this deeper inner peace to where now you can give more of yourself in a healthy way. This makes me feel like a lot of you, your biggest challenge over the next few months is to have real peace and stillness inside, and to not have these open voids that you're trying to fill. This is gonna be about really truly like breathing in new life and healing yourself truly through your own spirit, and not using any substances, but just with your own sheer soul. And it's like elemental healing. I feel like a lot of you are gonna needing to spend more time in nature over the next few months and needing to connect more. And then you're gonna find that you're more able to connect with people and to receive and give with others. I feel like some of you could feel really isolated right now. Like maybe you're in your own world a lot, and now it's like you have to be in your own world, but be healing there. Like if a lot of you have been feeling lonely and isolated, but you're not necessarily taking time to meditate or read or exercise or do things good for you, you guys are gonna find that now for the next few months when you're alone, it's time to use that time to heal and connect and really meditate and do breathing work. And like you'll find that the more that you take time to heal yourself when you spend time alone and not to escape yourself when you're alone, then that's when you're gonna, by later this year when the planets go direct, you're gonna be in a position to where you can help others, and you're gonna feel so much, it's gonna be so much easier for you to receive from other people as well. Like you're gonna have this whole renewed way of how you are experiencing your relationships and how you're giving and receiving with other people in your life. So this is all about more spirituality, deeper happiness and peace and being a sovereign being. This is about, for Cancers, this is about really, really owning your sovereignty. Completely. Like you are gonna find that you are becoming a true sovereign free conscious being over the next few months, and you're letting go a lot of these lower energies, these lower level energies, so that you can be in a more embodied, holy, present space like you guys are supposed to be, because you're Cancers. So Leo. I'm worried that my phone will be dying soon. Eight of Pentacles, same card that I pulled for everyone. Eight of Pentacles, Leo. Which makes sense because this is your 6th house. Capricorn is your 6th house. So Leo, you have no days off. You get no days off this retrograde period. You have to work for what you want. There's not going to be shortcuts. I feel like this is going to be a retrograde period for you all to really show yourself what you're capable of. And that just came out. And we have Share the Love, which is 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups. So I feel like Leo, for you all, it seems like the next few months, this retrograde is going to be all about work and play. I feel like you guys are going to find yourself in a routine of working really hard and then celebrating and then going out and enjoying time with others. I feel like you guys now are really, really though, really getting focused. You're really wanting to advance in your career. You're really wanting to work. Like, this is going to be a period where you make certain money, you reach certain goals, Leo. Like, you put the money in the account that needs to be there, you get that second job, you're working. This is a retrograde of work for you, but at the same time, don't work so much that you're not connecting, that you lose your social life. So I feel like it's important for you all to work as much as you can, be consistent, focus on your goals, but at the same time, don't isolate yourself. This makes me feel like the lesson for you all is to not isolate yourself, or if you're working so hard to the point to where you feel miserable and don't want to be around anyone, you need to not work that hard. This is about having a healthy balance between giving it all you've got and working hard, but still showing up and being there for people and having a social element to your life and still connecting with people. Not burying yourself in this duty and these missions and these goals, and then you're neglecting the people that care about you, or you're neglecting the stuff that you love to do and you have fun doing. So a healthy balance between, it's almost like work all day, party all night. Not saying to do that, but it's almost like make sure that you are working hard, but you still have the energy to connect with the people you care about. So I feel like for you, Leo, this is going to be a good period. This makes me feel like for you all, you're going to be really crossing off some things on your to-do list. Like, you're really going to be achieving. I feel like there's going to be achievement for Leos, but at the same time, you're going to meet new friends. If you guys start new jobs, you're going to really like your new coworkers. It's like the more that you work, it's like you're attracting a new tribe. You're bringing in new friends. You're having new things to do. Some of you, if you're starting any projects and you're working on any projects, you're gonna manifest friendships from that. So don't isolate yourself so much into work, because the social quality to it all is just as important for you over the next few months. So don't shut yourself off from any relationships. You need relationships. Leos need people around them now the next few months, because you're going to be working so hard that you need friends and you need a good time. So Virgo, 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 Virgo. Virgo, we have Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Oh. 3 just fell out. I'm not going to read all 3 though. Wow, 3 just fell out again. Something about 3, literally 3 and then 3 just came out. So 33, 333, 3 just came out twice. But we have heal, sadness and isolation, and opportunity beckons. I feel like this is just for a select few of you. I feel like for some of you, through your hermit phase and through your loneliness, you are going to manifest a type of financial security you need, but I'm not going to read that for everyone. Queen of Swords. Wow, same as Cancer, giving and receiving. So Queen of Swords and giving and receiving. So Virgo, I feel like you're going to have some business deals with air signs, or you are going to find yourself in a financial relationship with an air sign. Some of you are going to be working with an air sign. You are going to be investing. You're going to be literally, there's going to be some type of something with money. There's going to be something going on in the next 5 to 6 months where you're making a deal with an air sign, you're going half and half on something. There's some type of business, there's something going on with an air sign. But I'm going to pull one more. Wow, Knight of Swords. So again, air energy. Virgo, Fool though, bottom of the deck. Virgo, I feel like some of you, you have an idea, but you need an investor. You need you need a mentor, or you need someone that's gonna give you the money up front. Virgos need a mentor. You need somebody, and I feel like it's an air sign. It's either an Aquarius, a Libra, a Gemini, or they have strong air energy. But Virgo, I feel like you have an idea that you can't manifest on your own. Not because you're not good enough or anything, but because you have all of these ideas, but you need financial help. You need someone to invest with. You need someone to like, Virgo, this is my message for you. Over the next 5 to 6 months, you're going to have a lot of ideas. And this makes sense because Capricorn is your 5th house. And this is the house of, you know, fun stuff you enjoy, ideas, goals, things that make you happy. Virgo, your mind is going to be on fire for the next few months. You're going to have this idea. You're going to want to do this. You're going to want to do that. You're going to be thinking about this, thinking about that. You're going to be on fucking Mercury fire. This makes me feel over the next 5 to 6 months, you need someone to help you. You need a financial advisor. You need a mentor. You need someone and a partner that you're going to invest something in, because you're going to have so much ideas that if you don't have someone to help you, you may get all over the place and you may be giving out more than you're receiving. So this makes me feel, Virgo, you either need to consciously look for someone that can help you with your finances and that can help you with everything going on, because you may fucking run yourself into some hole somehow because your mind is just moving so fast that you're not like preparing for things the way that you need to be. This also makes me feel, Virgo, that you may meet someone over the next 5 to 6 months that really wants to do business with you. So be open to that. Be open that you manifest someone that you can create something with, start a project with. And don't be blind, Virgo. That's my message for y'all. Don't be blind. If you are running a mile a minute in your mind and you're doing all this stuff, you may start to slip through certain cracks. So if you need someone there to help you and keep you in check, don't be, naive to that. Be open to receiving help and receiving guidance, because you will need some type of financial guidance or intellectual guidance over these next few months. So don't think that you need to go rush forward and do everything on your own, because there is someone who is more than willing to help you and invest in you, and they're just really waiting for you to talk to them. Virgo, I feel like there's someone waiting for you to reach out and say, hey, let's do business. Hey, can you help me? Hey, mentor me. Hey, do you want to go half and half on this and let's start this project finally? There's someone waiting for you, Virgo. So reach out, because if you try to rush and do everything on your own, you may end up indebted to certain people that could have helped you in the first place. Where did the cards go? Oh, right here. So Libra is next. Libra. And this is going to be in Libra's 4th house. So Libra is going to be going through the emotions. Let's go Libra. Libra, we have 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups. Similar to Cancer. Something may not be sitting right. Let me see. And heal. Libra, I feel like there's some sort of emotional discontent that you are feeling. over the next few months, you guys may find that you feel like something is missing, you feel bored, you want to indulge in certain drugs, or like, this makes me feel, Libra, that I'm going to pull one more as well. There's some sort of emotional discontentment that you have not healed within yourself. There's something that doesn't feel right inside. You're not seeing something, Libra. There's something that, and you may, you know, air signs usually, like air signs don't necessarily like to go down deep in their emotions because then they feel threatened by that. So, you know, and it's like sometimes water signs go way too deep in their emotions and they drown in their own emotions, you know, whereas sometimes air signs won't even go there. So they kind of like bypass, and then there's like this huge emptiness or this huge void space in air, people. So for you, Libra, especially because Capricorn is the 4th house, this makes me feel like there could be some things that you haven't been acknowledging for a while, and they really need to be healed now. Like, you've been sitting and you've been like distancing yourself from something, and there's been this discomforting feeling. Basically, Libra, I feel like you guys will be doing emotional healing work for these next few months. And this card just flew out really, really good, the Star, which tells me that you're coming out of this renewed. You're coming out of this replenished. You're coming out of this emotionally liberated, free. You know, the Star card is literally about a wish coming true, a wish fulfillment. It's about feeling liberated into something new and original. And so Libra, I feel like the next few months, you guys are going to really be doing healing. Like, you're going to be doing healing work. You're going to be going into those spaces where you feel something's not right, or this doesn't feel good, or this doesn't, anything inside that feels numb, or that feels, you don't like how it feels. You're healing that. You're going to be doing emotional healing over the next few months. And you're going to find that when you come out of this retrograde, you feel completely liberated, because the Star is about feeling like naked and free. So I feel like you guys have some stuff inside that you still need to work through. But if you work on it consciously and you allow yourself to feel what you feel, you guys are going to come out of this completely renewed and replenished. I also feel like rainwater is important for you all for the next few months. I feel like it's very important for you guys to spend time in water, nature, even if it's just rain, or if you can go to the beach, or it's important to connect with water for the next few months, because some of you may just be kind of like sitting aside from your emotions, and you kind of need to, like, I'm seeing in my head, Libra, you know, like in like kindergarten and when kids are young, teachers will make kids like sit in a circle. And like I remember when I was in like 1st grade, we did this. We sat in a circle, and like the teacher would sit in the middle and read, and everybody would sit in a circle next to each other. And I feel like, Libra, there's been like this circle of emotions for you, and you've just been sitting outside of them. And it's like the next few months you're gonna join the circle and participate in this reading and this healing. And then it's like by the end of it, you're gonna feel so much better that you can sit and actually read to the circle and actually be in a position of enlightenment, and it's gonna be way better for you, way better for you. So don't be afraid to go to those spaces that feel weird, because you can heal them and you can come out so much brighter and happier of a person. Not that you aren't, but that it's gonna serve you and it's gonna make your wishes come true the more that you focus on your healing. So Scorpio, this is in you guys is 3rd house. Let's see what's gonna come through for Scorpio. So 10 of Swords just popped out. 10 of Swords. A complete, Scorpio, off the bat, a way that you have always thought will end. This retrograde is going to make you change the way you think about something forever. So a certain mindset, a certain perspective, a certain way that you have been thinking and beating yourself up, or intellectually receiving information, is gone forever. Like, something has to change about the way that you've been thinking. And for you all especially, you're really like deprogramming your mind. Like, ways that you have really been programmed to think, it's ending. You're changing the way you think forever. It's the end of a perception. It's the end of a beaten horse. So of something you've been processing so much, you're done with that. You're changing the way that you think, which is hard for a fixed sign. And we have observe, which is the hangman. Observe. So 10 of swords and the hangman. Wow. Scorpio, I feel like for you all, this is going to be a retrograde period of, you are literally, you feel like you don't know anything anymore. Like, I feel like for you all, this is going to be a period where you really truly learn surrender, because you're just realizing that the way you've always thought about everything, it doesn't even serve you anymore. And you're realizing that there's so many different perspectives that you could take on and learn from. Like, I feel like you guys are going to be doing it right this retrograde period. Like, you are going to really be sitting back and being like, you know what? I don't know shit. I don't know anything. And you know what, universe, show me what I need to know. Show me how I need to think. Show me present to me the perspectives I need to take on. You guys are going to be in this more back position of like, I know the way that I've been thinking isn't working anymore. So universe, source, God, show me the way now. So you guys are going to be in this very, very, like, I feel like it's almost laid back too. I feel like Scorpio, a lot of you are just going to be able to take this deep breath and be like, listen, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know why I tried so hard. And you guys are going to be in this laid back feeling of like, you know what? I'm going to let the truth reveal itself to me. I'm going to let things come to me. I'm going to let people expose themselves. I'm going to let things just reveal itself to me, and I'm going to sit back and watch everything else just self-destruct. So Scorpio, you guys are in a position of laying low, laying back, and allowing information to come and find you. So you guys are already good at observing. So this makes me feel like the biggest lesson is to observe your thoughts. When you start to get anxiety and you start to feel beaten down, observe the patterns that get you to that space. The more that you observe yourself and you don't judge, and you just kind of take a step back and allow yourself to perceive how you're really processing, you're going to learn a lot and be able to transcend it and change it. So a lot of lessons. I feel like Scorpios are going to come out of this really wise. Like, you guys are going to be, you're going to come out of this much more wise, much more wise. And it's because you're realizing that you have really thought about something as much as you can, or you've put enough mental energy in it to where now you're at a point where you can let it go and surrender and let the truth just literally appear before you. You don't have to go searching for it deliberately and intensely. It's all just going to kind of come to you, which is beautiful energy. So Sagittarius. Seven of Wands. This is your second house, Sagittarius. You guys may find this is a defensive period for you. You're protecting something. And we have open up, which is Four of Pentacles. Seven of Wands and Four of Pentacles. Open up and Seven of Wands. Sagittarius, you guys are going to find that this is the biggest challenge for you all, is to release your control. This is going to be the next 5-6 months. You are going to be fighting to hold on to certain things that you really need to let go of. And like the things that you're really trying so hard for, you are going to find that like trying so hard is not helping you receive it. So this is going to be a lesson for you all to loosen your grip. I'm hearing control yourself, take only what you need from it. You're having to, it's almost like you feel like there's this war, Sagittarius. I'm going to pull one more as well. You could feel like there's a war or something that you are protecting, or you have this energy. You're like going up against something, but the only thing you're really truly fighting is that your own desire for control. Let's see. Okay, we have the Chariot. So this makes me feel like your fight, your battle, Sagittarius, for the next few months is not to control and to conquer, but to really channel your emotions and transcend. So I feel like you guys it's going to be a challenge because you're going to feel like everybody's against you, or you're going to feel like you're fighting for something. You're in some type of war. You know, you're needing to like prove yourself, or you know, go get something. You're going to feel like it's your time to protect and defend, when really it's a time for you to stay super focused on your goals and stay like it has nothing. There is no enemies outside of yourself, Sagittarius. There are no blockages outside of yourself. There is no war outside of yourself. All of that stuff that you're feeling that you need to go up against is within you. And if you're really holding on tight to that, you're gonna keep putting yourself into these like destructive fighting energies where you're like, you feel like it's you against a bunch of stuff when it's really you against you. So I feel like the way that you can channel this energy, and it's funny because this is the Cancer card, and I feel like for you all, this is going to be the next few months trying to channel your emotions more. I feel like you guys automatically tap into your warrior energy and the fight in you, and you guys are ready for war. You're ready to go get it. You can tap into the ambition energy. But I feel like now what you're really going to be learning is from the Cancer North Node. And I feel like in Cancer season, you guys may feel like there is a whole battle you're up against. And the thing is that it's all just how you're perceiving it. The battle is within. And you're needing to channel your emotions and your true intuitive drive so that you can push forward, and it's all about you. So this is it's all about your motivation, Sag. It's all about your desires, your goals, what means something to you. And it has nothing to do with anybody outside of you. And this is also telling me that make sure that you're not trying to accomplish and win things for the sheer fact of winning and just feeling like you could do it. Make sure that make sure the moves that you make, your heart is in them. Make sure that the stuff you are trying to accomplish and achieve, it's because deep down it means something to you. It's a deep value. It's something you know is true in your soul and your intuition. Don't just go out fighting things and manifesting things and holding on and chasing things just because you want to feel like you're winning. Make sure that you're winning within. Make sure that you're actually doing stuff because you care and it matters. So the more that you channel your emotions and get passionate about what you're feeling, the more that you will have the success that you want. So less about defending yourself and controlling your assets, and more about channeling your emotions to gain more assets and feel more free. So Capricorn. I'm sorry you guys, I think I'm gonna move this because I feel like my phone is gonna die soon. Those of you still in the chat right now, let me know if you still can see me. I know the screen is sideways, but I don't want this to die. So yeah, okay. Sorry, so sorry. So Capricorn. And Capricorn, this is big for you because this is your first house. This is your retrograde. Okay. So we have the Hermit. Jill said sideways works too. Okay. The Hermit and Six of Wands. I feel like now I don't know how I can even do this, but Hermit and Six of Wands, and I only pulled two because they both felt like together. Like these felt like one. So Hermit and Six of Wands. So let's get one more. Capricorn. Capricorn, keep a Virgo near you. This retrograde, keep a Virgo near you. You need a Virgo around you. And we have spread your wings, 2 of Wands. So 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands, and the Hermit. Capricorn, 6 of Wands with the Hermit makes me feel like you guys are going to find that this retrograde period, you on the outside will be achieving. You will be getting recognition. You will be succeeding. You know, you're going to be in your bag. You're going to be moving forward. And as far as everyone else is concerned, and as far as everyone else can see, you're making moves, you're getting better, you're achieving, you're striving. But this makes me feel, Capricorn, that like, although you're going to be progressing, and although things are going to be looking up and you're vibrant, you're winning, you're on top, you know that you're on a journey that only you know. Like, you are on a mission and a journey, Capricorn, that nobody else is on with you, that nobody necessarily understands with you. And although everything seems normal and it's in, you know, because Capricorn, it's like when a Capricorn is struggling, it's like a lot of people won't even see it, because Capricorn knows how to present themselves in a way to where they always seem like they're good, like they don't need you, like they don't need your help, like it may be down now, but they're working on it, like they already have a plan, it's gonna be fine. Like, so Capricorns are always like in this position to where it seems like they're always getting better, and they always are getting better. But the only reason it seems like that is because Capricorn will never reveal, like Capricorn will not show what they're really feeling or what they're really going through. So Capricorn, this makes me feel like you don't have to worry. Like, you are going to be progressing. People are going to see you winning. You're not going to like seem like a loser. You're not going to lose everything and fail. But this makes me feel like, just know that there is a difference. There is not, there's a separation between what you're experiencing in the internal world versus the external world. So just make sure that although things are getting better and moving up, take time for yourself and make sure that you're still connecting with yourself, because you don't want to be out like seeming like everything's fine and then you really deep down feel all alone. And it's also this feeling, I also feel like, Capricorn, for some of you, you may find that for the next 6 months, it's hard for you to, it's almost like I'm hearing the quote, like, no matter where you go, you have to take yourself with you. That type of feeling, Capricorn. And I feel like there's an opportunity here for you to express your real nature. I feel like over the next few months, you guys are going to find that you don't want to silence the journey. You don't want to hide the journey anymore. You don't want to go through everything alone. Like, what is it worth to win and have all these opportunities and people are clapping for you and seeing you doing good when you are going through stuff all alone and nobody knows? So I feel like there's almost this need, Capricorn, for you to really come as you are, really, truly. It's like you can be winning and you can still be the Hermit. Like, you can be in a spiritual journey and be learning and be in a space of, you know that there are people who can teach you and help you, and you have a lot to learn, and you can still be prosperous. So I feel like you guys are going to find over the next few months, you're really envisioning a life where you can bring your real authentic soul to the public, and you can really show people what you've been through and how you've gone through it and how you've healed yourself, how you've processed things alone, how you've gone through these dark nights of the soul by yourself. And it's like, I think that you're going to be revealing to the world or moving in a direction to where, you know, you publicize your wins, but you're also not afraid to talk and share your losses. So really just this more whole type of coming together, this more bringing your real experience to the world, Capricorn, and not acting like it's always been up and up and up, and being more truthful and vulnerable about the process you've really experienced, and letting that guide you, letting that be a vision. Like, you're moving in a space now, Capricorn, where you're envisioning a life for yourself and a goal for yourself where you are more authentic in your spiritual journey, and that you don't distance and cut yourself off from what you're experiencing inside and outside, and you bring them together and really truly come as you are. So definitely some soul sort of revealing. It's like you guys are going to be revealing your vulnerabilities, and you're going to be more like transparent about what you've been going through, and you're going to show people a more like the more human side to you, that you're not just a machine, right? You're not just someone who's always focused on winning, and like there is a whole process you've gone through alone, and that deserves to be recognized and shown and validated through yourself. And then Aquarius. That's funny because I took a sip of my drink before Leo and then Aquarius, which is funny, but Aquarius. Two of Pentacles. So this is your 12th house, Aquarius. And share the love, which Leo also got. So you and Leo got 3 of Cups, both of you. Leos and Aquarius need to become friends. I feel like this retrograde period, Leos and Aquariuses need to come together. So all my Leo people, all my Aquarius people, find your opposite sign and befriend them. You guys need each other in this retrograde. Aquariuses need Leos and Leos need Aquariuses. But Aquarius, we have 2 of Pentacles for you and 3 of Cups. So this makes me feel, Aquarius, make sure, you know, this is in your 12th house. Make sure that you're not getting lost in the sauce, that you're slacking on your day-to-day stuff, or you're becoming less productive because you're staying out later, or, you know, you're kind of like distracting yourself. Make sure that you are not trying to juggle too much because you're seeking approval from social groups. Make sure that you're not like losing control of your day-to-day responsibilities because you're, you know, kind of like partying, or you're kind of just like putting yourself out in the world. Make sure that you're still maintaining the things you need to maintain on a daily basis. I'm gonna pull one more though. Queen of Swords, same as Virgo. Virgo, okay, Virgo, you need the Aquarius. Virgo needs to manifest an Aquarius over the next few months. Virgo, listen to this, Aquarius, if you have a Virgo or someone, Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, and you like what they're doing, you want to invest in them, reach out to them. Virgo and Aquarius need to work together, and Leo and Aquarius need to befriend each other for this retrograde period. I don't know why, this is just what's coming through. But we have Queen of Swords. So Aquarius, this makes me feel like there's going to be responsibilities that you need to take care of the next few months. You're going to have duties. You're going to have bills to pay. You will have to stay productive. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to stay in a swing. You're moving through turbulent times. Like, you are manifesting. It's like every day you're getting up and you're like, this is what I have to do today. You know, and then it's like, okay, you hit the weekend and you can relax. So I feel like you guys are in this hustle period. Like, the next few months you're hustling. But I also feel like because this is happening in your 12th house, this has more to do with not losing yourself, not losing your center. Like, make sure that you're staying grounded through this, Aquarius, because you guys may be really trying to like hustle and like make moves and make money, but you're kind of like slipping, you know, or you're like, you're messy, you're getting sloppy. Make sure that you're not getting sloppy, Aquarius. Make sure that you're, you know, staying on task, staying productive, staying up to par. Like, you're not losing yourself into certain things, if that makes sense. Because the 12th house, you know, you can kind of like lose yourself into things, and like things just slip, like, right? Things just kind of slip away. So make sure that you're staying grounded. And this also makes me feel, Aquarius, because this is you. Queen of Swords is you. You will have to stay professional throughout this period of time. So if you're manifesting things, like if you go out with colleagues, don't get super fucked up around them for the next 5 months. If you're going out with people that you want to do business with, don't get plastered around them. You know what I mean? Don't start talking openly about your personal life or your emotions. This makes me feel that you guys are going to be networking. 3 of Cups and 2 of Pentacles is all about networking. You're going to be meeting people, sharing ideas. You're all going to be meeting with these Leos and these Virgos. You're going to be wanting to do business. You're going to say, hey, let's go get drinks, let's get appetizers, let's talk about this plan, like let's connect, let's market. So, but this is making me feel like you have the power, Aquarius, but don't lose it. Make sure that you're staying responsible, intelligent, and professional, and make sure that no matter what you're hustling and what you're getting into and who you're meeting and talking to, make sure that what remains the same is that you're intelligent as fuck and you're professional as fuck, and don't let anything or anyone take you out of that. Because at the end of the day, you have the authority, you have the elite authority of the mind and the resources. So make sure that you stay professional in this period of time. Make sure that you keep up to your integrity. You say what you mean. You're honest. You know, this is like, you have to hold yourself up to standard, Aquarius. You have to, because the people that you're needing right now, that you need to manifest to make something move and happen, you have to be the professional. You have to be the intelligent one, and you cannot fold on that. So don't get lost in certain things. Make sure that you still are level-headed through this whole period of time, and you keep your professionalism above all things. You are the intelligent air authority for the next few months over almost everybody, it seems like. So yeah, stay professional. Even in social settings. It's like, even in your social settings, Aquarius, try to still remain professional, because that's going to manifest more opportunities to you and more people to you that will benefit you, if that makes sense. And then Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Wow, Queen of Swords again. So Pisces is in the mix too. Pisces, Aquarius, Leo, and Virgo. Pisces, Aquarius, Leo, and Virgo are all somehow connected for this retrograde. Queen of Swords, though, has come out the most out of all of the cards. So Queen of Swords is a huge theme for this Pluto-Saturn retrograde. There is a need to stay clear-headed, clear-sighted, honest, and professional. It's very important for everyone. The fact that this has come out like 3-4 times, it means this is a collective thing. This is, everybody has to take on Queen of Swords energy this retrograde. Everybody has to keep their word. Everybody has to remain clear-headed and professional. That's very important. I feel that strongly. And Pisces, we got observe, like Scorpio. So observe, and I'm going to pull one more tarot, which is your card though. Hangman is Neptune, which is Pisces. So we have observe and Queen of Swords. Let's pull one more. Pisces, you're going to be watching how people do business the next few months. You are going to be sitting back and watching the deals be made. This makes me feel like Pisces is the bookkeeper, but Pisces is the keeper of business and the keeper of secrets for the next few months. I feel like Pisces, you're going to be seeing who is smart, who is about their business, who is getting things done. Pisces is going to have this keen ability to observe who actually has the potential in a weird way. But let's pull one more. Pisces, I also feel like you are going to be like interning an air sign. You are going to be watching an air sign. You're going to be learning from an air sign. You're going to be watching how an air sign works. And then we have Knight of Wands for Pisces, which is very interesting energy for us. Pisces, I don't know why, but I feel like for the next few months, you guys are going to be taking a lot of action. You're going to be making a lot of moves. You're going to be making things happen. You're going to be passionate. You're going to be taking action, getting things done, moving forward. But there's almost this element of you're moving forward, but at the same time, you're laying low and you're observing. I feel like Pisces, you're going to be doing things that make you passionate over the next few months. this is happening in you all's 11th house. So you guys are going to be going towards your passion, going towards your dreams. You're going to be making things move. You're going to be starting fires. You're going to be boom, making it happen, boom, making it happen. But it's like, even though you're making things happen, you are observing and learning silently through air people. I feel like you guys are either you're either going to consult with an air sign, you're going to be working with an air sign, you're going to hire an air sign. There's something about someone who is more air and intellectual and left-brained than you, that you are going to be under their wing in a way, or watching them and observing them, and almost like seeing them as a guide for how you should take action in a way. So Pisces, this makes me feel like, by all means, do what you're passionate about, make the moves, take the risks, take action. But at the same time, you are going to be learning a lot from the intellectual realm. You're going to be learning a lot from air sign people around you, and you are more reluctant to just kind of sit back and allow truth to reveal itself to you, kind of like Scorpio. I feel like Scorpio and Pisces both, for this retrograde period, are kind of just going to be sitting back, and truth is going to just reveal itself. People are just going to be saying what you wanted them to say. People are just going to be speaking the truth that you wanted to know. A lot of things are just going to kind of just reveal to you, and you're just going to kind of be observing and kind of like processing it all in your head. So it's like one part of you, Pisces, is going to be heavily withdrawn intellectually, but then the other part of you is going to be taking action, and you're going to be passionate and making moves and making movement forward in your life. So yeah, I feel like air signs, there's air signs. It doesn't have to just be Aquarius, but there's going to be a lot of people looking to air signs, I feel, for this retrograde period. And there's going to be air signs that really start to help other people. I feel like air signs are somehow becoming messengers or bosses or managers of other signs in the collective right now through this period of this retrograde. And then let me put these back. And yes, let me see. It's 1:17. See if there's anything else I wanted to touch on. So when Saturn goes direct, it's going to be at 14 degrees. And I want to read that to you all before I go. So Capricorn, 14 degrees. It's titled Beads Carved from Human Bone. And remember, Saturn rules bones. So the body carries memories of every world we have ever been through. These memory strings or beads bind us to the earth. We feel pinned to the spot, responsible for everything that happens around us, somehow the one in charge. For we are carrying the continuous memory and legacy of the ancient mystery streams and of forgotten modes of knowledge. We bear the treasures intact. It makes everything count. It means that we cannot get away from ourselves or our fate for a moment. We are compelled to fulfill our vows and to bring into this world the towering awareness and strange resonance of the giants, of the ancestors, of the great ones, of the inner ways, never lost, impossible to forget. So I do feel like this is going to be a retrograde period where so many of you are going to be tapping into such deep power, deep power. And it's really going to be like, a lot of people are going to come out of this retrograde moving into October and Libra season. Like, you're not even going to be like, because we're coming out of this in Libra season, really, so many people, it's like, you're not even going to be able to talk to people anymore. Like, a lot of people are just, you're not even going to have anything to talk about anymore. It's like, if it's not about business, if it's not helping you grow, you're not even going to be able to relate. So I feel like this retrograde is making people tap so deeply inside of their inner power and inner knowing and their karma and like who you're really meant to be and what you're really supposed to manifest, that over the next 5 to 6 months, a lot of tribes are going to be forming, but also a lot of people are going to be disconnecting because we're all sort of coming into a more true space. So as we all like tap into this more true space, it's making certain people part ways and disconnect. Because you're not part of the same tribe. So people now, if you've been kind of like trying to fit in with the wrong tribes or the wrong people, this is gonna kind of shake up to where you will have to find your right tribe after this. And yeah, we have 5 and 6 months of this, you guys. And really July, like I said, will be the peak month where we're gonna have 6 planets in retrograde. And when we're in Cancer season, this is going to be a really, really high potent time. And I'm going to talk more about it later on. You know, you guys know that I'll upload on the channel and stuff, and I'll write about it. But that's really what I want to say. I didn't want to do this too long because I just want to give the gist of it and give messages, and I don't want to linger too much because I feel like in the Jupiter webinar it was too long. But you know, Saturn, like I said in the beginning, Saturn really sees the best in us even when we don't see it in ourselves. And Pluto knows the real you, even the you that you hate. Pluto knows you. Pluto knows the deepest parts of you. Pluto knows the deepest pain you've gone through. Pluto knows who you are, bare and naked inside. That's why you can't run from Pluto. That's why Plutonic energy is so addictive and hard to get out of. It feels like a trap because Pluto knows the depths of you. Even the parts of you that you try to suppress and run from, Pluto knows. So this retrograde period is making people really see themselves, see deep inside. And wherever Capricorn is, right, this is where in the houses that it's going to bring up your raw nature. It's going to bring up your authentic power, your unconscious power, your true structure, your true nature in that area of life. So yeah, for those of you, like I said, the cardinal signs are going to feel this a lot. Earth signs, this is going to be more beneficial. Water signs as well. For fire, this will be kind of a challenging time. Yeah, but nonetheless, this is going to be a period where everybody really has to pull from within out. And let me see, are there any notes I missed? I put mastering the conscious and unconscious realm. This is ultimately, in a nutshell, what we're all doing. We're mastering our conscious and unconscious worlds. And it's going to take about 5 and 6 months, to be honest. So don't be afraid of setbacks, but don't be afraid of success. Don't be afraid of comebacks, because a lot of you will find that you have a comeback, and then really later in this year when they're direct, we're all in a whole different position. We're literally in a different position of power. We're in a different psychological state because Pluto is the psyche. So this is really transforming us on a psychological level and on a material realm, conscious, physical level. Also, a lot of you may find that you start to work out over the next few months. You're changing not only your inner world, but your physical body will go through changes because Saturn rules the body, the bones, the structure of yourself. So a really, really good time to start meditating. Do inner work. I really mean this. Like when Pluto goes retrograde, you must do inner work, especially related to wherever the house is. And it's also just like, for example, for the first house, you would do inner work for yourself, your sense of self. Second house, it's inner work about what you value, what you're relating to, what you're investing in. The third house would be your mental programming. The fourth house would be your emotions, your inner world. The fifth house would be your love life, your entertainment, what you do for fun. The sixth house would be your work, your health, your habits, your routines. Seventh house is going to be your relationships. You're really seeing yourself in relationships. The eighth house, this is going to be unconscious healing. This is like where it's going to benefit to release and purge and like rage and just let go of pain and suffering and parts of that are not real anymore, that are just haunting. Phantoms in our hearts and minds, you're releasing that. And the ninth house, this is going to be deeply unprogramming certain beliefs that don't serve you anymore, certain things that you've always bought into, dreams you've bought, the ways you've sold your own soul and believed in things that were not true. 10th house is going to be the idea of status and money and what you strive for, what you're wanting to achieve and accomplish. The 11th house is going to be unprogramming how you feel you need to fit in the world, how the world has told you who you are, rather than you decide what the world is and who the world is. And 12th house is going to be about release, and it's going to be about getting in a flow, and it's going to be about not so much trying to structure, but rather allowing yourself to just be. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling for everyone, and I probably will talk more about this on my Instagram and on the channel and stuff, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this webinar, and I'm really sending you all my love. Again, I'm going to say again what I wrote at the bottom of here. We're taking the rest of this year to redesign our reality and our psychological unconscious programming. So don't be surprised if 5-6 months from now you feel really different. You're working really different. Your physical world, your physical body looks really different. You don't be surprised if you're making a different type of money. Don't be surprised if you manifest a different physical realm. Don't be surprised by those things. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden you're not controlled by certain things anymore. Because this is a time where it's like you're either going to control yourself or you will be controlled. You know what I mean? Like, so this is going to be a period where you release that, where you're no longer controlled by deities. You're no longer controlled by things outside of you. This is about gaining real mastery inside and really structuring yourself for your highest good and not letting anybody else do it for you, doing it for yourself so that you have the control and that you're aware. So yeah, that is where I'm gonna leave this at. I'm gonna move this phone again. I'm so sorry about this, you guys. It will not be like this the next time. I'm gonna get another little stand that I can that I can do it this way. But it actually doesn't, it's not even that bad this way. I could have just left it like this. But yeah, I'm sending you all my love. I'll pull one more before we go. One final message for everyone. And I will remember to put all of these notes that I typed up today in the description box so you guys have it. Okay, we have Blossom and Ace of Swords. Really, really good, which is clarity of belief. Clarity of belief and Blossom. So Ace of Swords and Blossom. So this makes me feel like all in all, this is going to be a retrograde period that we all come out of this more ourselves, more blossomed, more open, more free. And we have so much a better understanding of our truth. And we have such deeper clarity in our soul, in our hearts, in our being. This makes me feel like there is a lot of clarity. And 20 plus 1 is 21, which means 3. But I feel like this is going to be a lot of creative, chaotic, changing energy, changeable energy. And a lot of you are going to find by the end of this transit, you are so much more free because you're so much more aligned with your truth and you are clear on it. You are clear on who you're becoming. You are clear on what you believe in. And if you're most clear of anything, it's that you believe in yourself. So that is the biggest goal for this transit, that you find real true self-belief and you develop a deeper sense of clarity that you know you can blossom into whatever it is that you want to blossom into. You can blossom in your career. You can blossom in any way you want to. That is your truth. So that's what I have for everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Those of you that are going to watch in the playback, yeah, thank you so much. I will be back soon talking more about this later.